Where, how do I make sure that I'm on? Hello, everybody. I just want to make sure that I'm on both. Ooh, I have a little bit of a stomach ache. Ooh. 1 second. I just want to make sure that I'm on live on both of my stuff. One second, you guys. Okay. So let's talk about rebirths and entering new timelines. As you guys are coming in, please like the live and share it, because we're going to be talking about rebirths and how to survive them, how difficult it is to go through a rebirth, entering a new timeline, surviving entering that new timeline. Hi, Lady Sosa. Hi, Ashley. So when it comes to, so to speak, when it comes to surviving rebirths or being reborn, I believe that you can be reborn several times throughout your human experience. Every time you crack a code and you move on to a new timeline, or you survive what you thought would end you, right? That's a rebirth. Because now you're going to leave that old you behind, because you're not her anymore. You're not him anymore. So you're a completely new person, which is why I tell people all the time, in life, are you really growing? Because you're not supposed to be the same person from the time you're born to the time you pass away. You're supposed to be completely different. Because if you're staying the same, that means that every challenge you have in your life, you kind of just let it tear you up. And instead of ascending upward, you descend downward. So you don't ascend, you descend. That's why there are certain people, everything in their life that they survived, it's made them stronger, more confident, better, smarter, wiser, spiritually stronger. And then there's some people that you look at that went through a lot. They're bitter, they're angry, they're unhappy, they're jealous. A dark cloud is all around them. So one person was reborn and ascended upward. The other person didn't go through a rebirth at all, and they descended downward. You understand? So for me, when I look at rebirths and when I think about that, it's just like, I do not care to be digestible. That's one thing that my rebirth did. I don't care to be digestible. I don't care to fit in with anybody. I actually rather fit out, not fit, because fitting in would require me to be chipping away at myself. I don't care. I don't see any benefit of fitting into a group of some sort. I don't understand what's the benefit to that. So I don't care to do that. That's one of my rebirth effects. Second to that, I just don't feel the need to be living my life in third person. I think that after you go through a rebirth and you've survived so much in your life, you don't live life in third person where everybody is the main character of your life and you're just in the background taking orders. Um, I think that when you go through certain things in your life and you survive it, you don't have time to be living life to please other people. It's just a complete waste of time. I don't see any purpose in that. I think that you should remain in your purpose and stand in your purpose so that you enjoy your new timeline. Now, there are certain people who don't want to enter new timelines. One of the number one things that keeps people stuck and keeps people from entering new timelines is holding on to bonds that should have ended a long time ago. Okay? You're in a relationship with somebody, that relationship should have ended in 2008 and it's 2026 and you're still there. Friendships that should have ended 10 years ago, you're still in those friendships right now. So a lot of people, you're the one inviting stagnation into your life because you don't want to move on. Be quick to move on, okay? That is where the power is. Move quickly, okay? A timeline shifts, move on, okay? None of us are making it out of here alive, as I always say in life. One day, you're going to get called home and you're going to go home. So why are you limiting and stunting your advancement by holding on to bonds and environments that should have ended a long time ago? Some of you guys should have moved out of your hometown a long time ago. You had dreams of moving out, you had visions of moving out, you had signs of moving to another state. It was time for you to enter a new timeline. You didn't go. Why? Because you're holding on to foolishness. And then you stagnated yourself in life. And then you're looking at where you're at and you're like, oh my God, why am I still here? Well, maybe it was because you were supposed to move to Texas 10 years ago. And there were opportunities for you there. There were things waiting for you there, and you just didn't go. You just didn't move. You have to learn how to make the move. Okay. Now, another thing that I think keeps people, please, please, please. Okay. BJ, please remove that. If you have a GoFundMe or something like that and something tragic happens, I don't mind you sending it to me or emailing it to me and I could post it to my followers, but I don't know you. You can be a liar and the people in here are going to go to your link and donate money for you to go buy a new car. It's disrespectful. I keep telling you guys, especially not all Black women are the same. I am not a mammy. You do not get to come into my space and disrupt it and disturb it or control it. Please ask for permission. You do not come into my space like that. I'm going to block you. If you have a donation account link of some sort, you can send me an email and I'll copy and paste it so them they can do a donation. You guys like to come into Black women's spaces in a very disrespectful way because you think that what? I'm scared and I'm going to just sit there and let you disrupt the environment. It's very, very rude and it shows a lack of decorum. It's very disrespectful. I don't have a problem with GoFundMe's and stuff. I know people have a hard time. I don't mind posting it if you are in need so people in here can help. I can absolutely do that. But what I do not like is when people come into my space and they take over it. I don't like that at all. Because what if you're like some fraudulent person and people in here actually go out of their way to donate to you and it's not even real and they lose their money? People work hard for their money. So you have to be vetted before posting any donation link in here. It's very rude. I'm sorry, you guys. Yeah, people are very annoying. Like, I just can't do it sometimes. I just, anyways, back to what I was saying. I'm sorry, y'all. Like, yeah, I try to contain it. I really, I prayed this morning. But, but I just don't understand some people sometimes. It's like, hello, hello. You don't just come into someone's live and post your like yeah, I'm not trying to be rude. I really try my best to hold my composure, but it's like, please, okay, please stop that. Stop that. Okay, you let me know if you have a donation. I will put it up for the men and the women to see, and if they desire to donate, they will do that. Okay. Okay, here's the problem. When you are going through a rebirth, it's very painful because you have to leave the old you behind. And that's very hard. Sometimes you may even miss the old you but the old you had to go. Being reborn is turning into a completely different person. This is why you look at certain people and you're like, whoa, you're so different now. They're either calmer or they're more confident or they're more on top of things. And you're like, where did that change come from? They were reborn. And I think rebirths come from the most painful experiences that you have had, like rejection, humiliation, betrayal, and then you just become a completely different person. I remember thinking back to when I was in college, right? When I was in college, I was so like I wanted so many connections. Like I was just a lover of connecting. And I'm like so not like that anymore. Like now it's like I'm really happy around like two or three people and I feel my best and that's enough for me, right? But back then I was so different. But then I realized that your presence is a blessing. It really is. And when you start to view your presence as a blessing, you don't even want everybody to experience your presence. It kind of turns into that type of thing where you're like, I don't even want you to experience me. I want to gatekeep experiencing me for people that I know can receive me correctly and treat me right, the same way that I'll receive them correctly and treat them right. And that is when I started to completely start gatekeeping who gets to experience me after that rebirth. And I think that rebirth, I think what really initiated that is before I know what I know now, I used to be a little bit more hopeful for people. Meaning I used to believe that people were making genuine mistakes, right? And I used to believe that people, you could just forgive them and 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 forgive them. Like that's what I thought. I'm like, oh, this person doesn't really know what they're doing, right? But then when I got older, I realized that people are very conscious and cognizant of what they're doing. And once I realized that, I said, wait a minute. Because the way that I see it is, you know how people say hurt people hurt people? Have you ever heard of that saying? I have been in times in my life where I was like at a breaking point and I never hurt anybody. So I think that that's an excuse of some sort. And I told people to stop telling me that hurt people because that gives people who are hurt a pass to destroy other people's destiny. So I don't want to hear that hurt people because I've been hurt before and I didn't hurt people. I put myself in a corner and I minded my business and I waited for God to bring my prayers into the realms of the physical. I did not go around hurting people because I was hurt. So you being hurt is not an excuse for you to damage other people's life experience. And I think that's a cop out. I think that's a cowardly thing to tell people so they can feel a little bit better for the way they treat people. If you're hurt, go sit in a corner. If you're hurt, go find a therapist. If you're hurt, go find God. You don't damage other people because you're hurt. So that hurt people thing, I don't like to hear it. I don't like to advertise it. I think that some people are supposed to be entering their rebirth season. They're fighting their time to be reborn. They don't want to be reborn. They don't want to fix themselves. They don't want to go to therapy. They don't want to heal. They don't want to surrender to God. So what they do is they go around damaging people. So hurt people hurt people. How are you going to fix that person that you damaged? That has to do years of therapy to undo what you did to them. What is your excuse to them? How are you going to pay their medical bills? I don't think so. So hurt people should go find God. When I was hurting, that's what I did. I didn't go around damaging other women or damaging men because I was hurt. So not everybody's going to allow you to bring that to them. People who understand human nature will not allow. So you're basically saying you can only be a decent human being when your life is perfect. You can only be decent to people when everything is perfect in your life. That's a very immature way of thinking because your life is not always going to be 100% perfect. Sometimes there is going to be curveballs that come in, and that curveball that comes in is requiring you to be reborn. It's a rebirth. You have to hop over the challenge and be born and transform into a completely new person. That's why that challenge is there. So people have the opportunity to join the rebirth and jump the timeline, or they have the opportunity to stay in that pain and turn into a low quality individual. And most people choose option 2 because it's easier, because rebirths are hard. Rebirths require you to go inside, to let the pain fester, to feel the pain, to sit in it, to cry, to let it burn, and then to jump and ascend to the new timeline. And most people don't want to do that. So they hurt you instead. They hurt you instead. So hurt people, that's not an excuse. That shows a lack of emotional intelligence. When you say, because I was hurt, I ruined your wedding. Because I was hurt, I jumped on you. You're going to look crazy in front of people who have ascended. They're not going to accept that from you. They'll accept your apology, but they're not going to reconnect to you, because that shows people that you are a hazard. Essentially, you're a hazard. You don't have self-control. So people who have self-control, they're not going to want you around. And then people who are like that, who refuse to go through rebirths, what's going to happen is they're going to look around them, and it's only going to be low quality people, and they're not going to understand why. In order to be around people who are balanced, who are loving, who are kind, who are cognizant, who are emotionally intelligent, in order to be around those type of people, you have to also be like that, because they're not going to risk their healing in their new timeline. They're not going to lose their salvation because you can't get it together. They're not going to do that for you. So a lot of times you can see how much somebody has been reborn and how much they've healed in their life. Just look at the people they have around them. Look at the people they have around them. So you need to elevate to attract the same. That's right. That's right. You have to elevate out of who you are to attract better. Because one thing I've learned is people who have been reborn, who have been through several rebirths and entered several timelines and lost themselves and found themselves and lost themselves. And those are some of the most hardest people to get close to, because they've been through the mud. They have been in the ditch. They've been at the bottom of the sea. They know what it feels to be at your lowest, but they ascended out of that. So they don't want you to take them back to that energetically. They don't want you to bring them back there. So these are the type of people. I know how healed somebody is based on how strong their boundaries are. I know how healed somebody is based on how strong their boundaries are. The most healed people are not afraid to look like the bad person. The most healed person has the strongest boundaries, because they're not going to undo their growth for you. They're not going to undo their healing for you. They're not moving backwards. They're moving forward. They're not going to undo all the work they've done to have a bond with you. They're not going to undo the work that they've done to have a relationship with you. If you want to get near quality individuals, you will have to be quality, or you will not get 5 feet of them, because they're not going to allow you to. You want to be around better people, be a better person. Yes. When you've already been through the mud, let me tell you guys, I always say, I am never concerned about the mean girl allegations. If you hear them, please believe them. I probably enforced a boundary with that person. 9 times out of 10, a boundary was enforced and they didn't like it. 9 times out of 10, they tried to get over me. I didn't allow it. They didn't like it. Right? So I always say, please believe the mean girl allegations. Because as long as you are the type of person where you are so serious about preserving the work that you've done on yourself. You're so serious about not going backwards. We're not going backwards. You're so serious about reserving and preserving your healing and what God has done for you and will continue to do. You're not playing games with anybody. I saw this lady on TikTok. She literally said, that girl wasn't mean. She just wasn't playing with you. That woman wasn't mean. She just wasn't playing with you. Right? So the word mean is very subjective. Was this woman mean or was she not playing with you? Was that man mean or was he not playing with you? You got to ask yourself that question. Did you try to manipulate that man in some way and he stopped it? Was he mean or was he just not playing with you? There's a massive difference. People who have done several rebirths and switched timelines, like timeline switching is spiritual. Hopping into a new timeline, it's a spiritual and physical shift that happens when you enter a new timeline. I just entered a new timeline yesterday. I felt it. When I was driving, I felt very elated. It's almost like I was here, but I was not here at the same time. And when I was driving, I felt so elated. That's why I said that, no shade to anybody. We spoke about that. We spoke about that yesterday. I always say, I don't need Mary Jane or like a drink, or I don't need escapes anymore because I have learned how to escape on my own up here. I have learned to feel that high just by looking at life and how vast it is. I get the same feeling that you would get from those things naturally, just using my mind and how deep I'm willing to go. So I can feel like I'm on that stuff, although I'm not, because I keep going within. So when I was driving and I felt so elated, I felt that high as I was on the highway, kind of scared me a little bit because I was going in so deep as I was driving, looking at that road at the road, and I began to just cry because I felt so thankful for the little things. I just started thinking about the little things, and it made me so teary-eyed to see that I'm still alive and I'm healthy and God is still very present. I feel him all around me all the time. And that feeling is what makes you want to go on another day. So, when you're going that deep constantly as a person, and people want to bring their heaviness, their anger, all that stuff, you just simply don't have space in what you're building around you to allow that in. That's what people don't understand. And then you become so protective of your new timeline because it took so much to get there. And I tell men and women all the time, healing takes so much work. Conquering the challenge, it'll take all it's going to leave you with nothing left inside. And even being left with nothing left inside is a rebirth. Detachment is an example of a rebirth because I'm just having an experience right now. This is just a human experience. All of it is just an experience. Everything that didn't work out did. It's just one massive story. Okay? And then you start to see life in that vast way, and then you stop letting people take that zest out of life. I think that some people lose their connection with the spiritual realm and they focus so much on this physical stuff here that they let it take over them. And then you start to forget how vast life is and how your life can change tomorrow, how you can meet the right person for you tomorrow, how the business can take off tomorrow, how you can put the blunt down tomorrow for good. And you just never look back. It just comes at you. The timeline change, it just comes at you. It just comes at you randomly. And you're like, "Whoa, I haven't done that in a year." It just comes at you. It just comes at you. But you have to be open for it to land. This is why I tell people all the time, I know somebody is not in tune spiritually based on how obsessed they are with other people's life. Ma'am, sir, why are you thinking about this person? Look at the road ahead of you. There are so many things for you to do in this life. Why are you thinking about her? Why is she a thought in your mind? You know, you're up in the clouds. I don't understand. That just tells me right there that you have some growing to do. You know, I saw this video of this woman on TikTok. She was talking about hiking, and she was going on some massive she was yelling at her phone, and she's like, "Oh, hiking used to be such a fun sport, but I don't even feel comfortable hiking anymore because the women that come hiking have these outfits on, and I don't like to get dressed up, and I don't like to wear all those colors, and I don't feel my best right now. And I don't like hiking anymore because some of the women on the trail are all," and it's like, "Ma'am, you are on you are walking up a beautiful mountain in the middle of a beautiful landscape. Why is what another woman's wearing? You're too stuck here, ma'am. That's the problem. You need to go up there a little bit. You're so stuck in this dimension that you're hyper focusing on every things that don't matter. You're in the middle of the Grand Canyon. Focus on that. Look at what's around you. This is why I tell people spiritually, you need to grow spiritually, because when you grow spiritually, you're always on a high. You don't need Mary Jane. You don't need alcohol. You don't need a cigarette, because you always feel that way naturally because you're high off life. You're high off God's promises and what he's going to do next, because you never know what God's going to do next. He is going to surprise you. God is full of surprise. You don't know what stunt he's going to pull, and he'll blow your mind. He's going to do bigger than what you thought. He's so sudden. You don't need that stuff when you're high off of God and what he's doing. You don't need that. You need that stuff when you feeling real low in life. The real escape is connecting to what's inside of you. The real escapism is being reborn. I'm not just talking about being born again as a believer. That's great. I'm talking about life is constant rebirths. I'm like on my fourth life right now. I was thinking about that the other day. I'm like, this is the fourth version of me since I've been born. I've been reborn 3 times. 3 massive life-changing experiences. 3. Every time there's a massive life-changing experience, you're reborn again. You're a completely new person after that thing. And that thing is not always something positive. It can be something traumatizing that could have taken you out, but you didn't let it. So you're reborn again. I think about that all the time. You know, last night I told God, I said, "God, I'm not even supposed to be here. I apologize for every time I've complained. My existence is a testimony in itself. What am I complaining about? There's more for me to do. There's more to do. There's more to do. There's more. There's more to do. There's more people to meet. There's more places to go. Just keep healing. Just keep healing. If you got to leave your toxic family alone, leave them alone. Maybe they're not a part of the new timeline. No. Mm-mm. I knew when I was healing, and I looked at my family and I said, the people here are very, very broken. And as a result of that, they want to break others. And I can't, that's going to get in the way of my growth. And my growth is more important than those connections. I'm sorry. You have to become obsessed with growth. My growth is more important than this. Okay? Because what's going to happen is when it's time for you to enter a new timeline and you don't enter the new timeline, right? It's waiting for you. It's like, all right, come on, walk through. It's time for the new timeline. Let's go. And you're sitting there and you're fighting it, you're going to invite delay into your life. A lot of people, you're saying, oh, somebody did witchcraft on me. That's why I'm delayed. No, you're delayed because either there was a spiritual instruction given to you that you ignored. Maybe you had a dream to go a certain place. You had a dream to do a certain thing. You had a dream to start a certain thing. You ignored it because you felt like you wouldn't be able to sustain it, and it was time for you to enter the portal to the new timeline and you didn't do that, and as a result you've been in the same spot for 15 years. Go back to what was told to you and do it now. New times. New times. Okay. um and getting serious too, like a lot of men and women I've noticed, a lot of men and women, you're just not serious about your spiritual life. You're not serious. Your financial life, you're not serious. Your health, you're not serious. You're just not serious about you because you're so focused on other people. That's your problem. And I remember there was a time I had somebody tell me, "Oh, well, you just, you're not, it seems like you're not very like, interested in everybody else." I said, "Well, I'm focused on myself. That's the thing. I'm my biggest project. I don't what was that? I don't what is it? Covet? I don't covet other people's lives. I don't know what that's like. So I think what I'm doing is right. It's discipline. So who is in your new timeline and what is there? And I started to think about this when I heard some women talking about singleness, right? Men and women. And I tell them, you do know that when you get married and have a child as a man or a woman, that's the new timeline, right? And you're not going to have the time that you have right now in this moment. So instead of enjoying your lack of responsibilities and using this timeline to accomplish all your goals, to get all your businesses initiated, to perfect your time skills, how you spend your time, to perfect your discipline. Instead of using your single season to perfect you, you're crying about not being in a relationship. A relationship takes from you. It requires two whole people to come together. People don't use their single season to do all the things that God wants them to do. Because a lot of you guys don't understand, if God brought your person into your life when you wanted them to come, your business would not get initiated because you would be distracted. You have kids crying. Hi, Anissa. You have kids crying. So I started to think about that and I'm like, I want to use every timeline to its farthest extent. I want to use every timeline. I don't want to waste my timeline because once I'm in a new timeline, I'm going to look back at my old timeline and say, dang, I had more time. I should have done more back then. Dang, no, no, look at you right now. A lot of you guys, the call on your life is so big. You can't just run and get married like everybody else because you're going to be leading mass groups of people. So you need to get it now. Your time management skills are screwed up. Look at your car. Your car is a mess. Let's open up the trunk of your car. We'll find 5 raccoons in there. You don't even take care of your car. And then you're like, "Oh, I want a family and a baby." You can't even keep up with yourself. And you're trying to insert more people into the equation. You can't even take care of yourself, sir. You can't even take care of yourself, ma'am. You haven't even perfected this timeline, and you're trying to enter another timeline that's going to require more of you. Every time you enter another timeline, it's going to require more discipline. So use the timeline now to get it right. Yeah, so many times in my life, I said, Mel, you're a little bit of a mess. And if you don't, there are 5 raccoons in the back seat of their car. You got shoes, you got clothes, you got food. You could have a party with the mess that's in the back of your car. You got chips, you got the gym sneakers are back there, a couple open bottles of waters back there. Oh, Lord, give me a husband. Lord, give me a family. Look at the back of your car. How are you going to handle more responsibility? It's just you, and you're already a mess, and it's just you. Oh, I want a family. I'm a man. I'm ready for a family. Sir, your room. I promise you will find raccoons in your bedroom, sir. You can't even take care of just you. How are you going to take care of a whole family unit? Ladies, I'll put myself in there included. Sometimes you don't handle disagreements well. How are you going to get in a relationship if you start shouting like I did in the beginning of the live? If you just get straight to shouting when something bothers you. So the person that's for you, what are you going to do? Yell at them and scream and be verbally abusive? Ladies, I really love you, but for a lot of ladies, it's the mouth. Once you you start spewing that venom, the minute somebody aggravates you, you start spewing venom. And you want God to send you somebody that you're going to verbally abuse, ma'am, every time you get upset? No. He's not just a girl dad, he's a guy dad too. So I like to look at these things, not even in regards to just like relationships, just life. I'm like, okay, what I want, am I even prepared for it? Or am I like screwing up the little bit that I have, like with the Amazon? I had to get off Amazon for a little bit because I'm like, I'm wasting the blessing. I got a new package. I got a package coming to my house 3 times a day from Amazon. All I do is sit on Amazon and order stuff. And I'm like, how long am I going to keep doing this Amazon obsession thing? And I had to stop that because I realized you're not even ordering on Amazon because you need it. You just looking at what's new and you just start ordering. And that's wasting the blessing. You can feed somebody with that. Right? You can do charity with that. So I started to think about these things and I'm like, God, I'm going to get it right. I promise. And that's another thing I always tell people. Another sign of being spiritual rebirths and entering new timelines is the maturity of you as a man or a woman to be self-aware. Do you have self-awareness as a man or a woman? Like, can you look at yourself and be like, I'm a horrible person? Are you able to tell you about you, or other people can tell you about you? I can tell you about myself. I can tell you about me. You know, the other day I was praying and I told God, I'm going to stop shouting. I promise. Every time I get angry, I'm going to try to hold it in. I don't know if it's the Caribbean in me, but honey, when I shout, everybody will hear it. Like, it's so bad. So I tell myself, oh my God, I need to stop being like this. This is not good. The gym sneakers have collected dust, y'all. The backs are getting big. I have a half Publix cake over there that I've been taking a couple spoons per day, and I'm like, how many times you gonna keep eating this cake, girl? Leave the cake alone. The backs are getting big, ladies and gentlemen. We got to get back on it. The backs are getting big. The waistlines are expanding, y'all. We need to leave certain things alone. We need to stop ordering the pizza and stuff. How are y'all doing with you guys' backs and stuff? How's your backs? Is it expanding? The back is getting bad. Yours is getting big, Journey. Okay, the backs are getting big. Okay, I refuse to bring any of those things into my I think that's the thing too. So when you're entering a new timeline, you also have to be very, very disciplined with everything, including working out. So what I did was I started to think about, okay, when it's time for me to work out, what stops me? I've learned that you guys have to find out if you're a morning or a night person, because I noticed that when I would work out in the mornings, I would get very tired. So when I switched it to working out in the late afternoon, I was able to get more done because the workouts in the morning were making me very sleepy. And some people, the workout in the morning is what gets you started for your day. And then, regardless of what, sometimes you're going to just have to work out even when you feel tired, and go at 5 a.m., even when you feel tired. And you may have to start doing two things at once to get the discipline. Yes, I wear my fanny pack sometimes when I go on my park runs. Yes, I wear my little fanny pack when I go on my park runs sometimes, because I want to put my phone in there and put my headphones on and listen to my sermons as I'm running. Okay. And I don't need my phone falling. So I don't care if I look like a little old lady with a fanny pack. Who said fanny packs belong to old ladies? Fanny packs are wonderful. Don't wear them when you're going out, ladies, especially if you're single and available. Don't wear the fanny pack to the restaurant. Okay. But when you're on a trail or something like that, the fanny pack, it holds so much things. It holds a lot in there. So I've been doing that because I'm trying to do both things at once. I don't want to waste my new timeline. I really don't. I want to get as much done within that new timeline as I can. And the number one thing is not getting the backs big. Do not let your back get big. I'm telling you, you're going to cry every day if you let your back get big. Because when the back get big, to unbig the back, oh my God. I feel like it's easier for the back to get big than to unbig it. Like it's easy to gain the weight. Like that's the easy part. Losing the weight, ladies, you're gonna just have to start having coffee and stuff. Ladies, don't let yourself get big. Don't let yourself get big. And if you're already big, don't let yourself get a pound bigger. If you're already big, don't let yourself get a pound bigger. If you're already big, the goal now is to not let yourself get a pound bigger. You maintain where you are until you figure out how to get smaller. Okay? That's a rebirth right there. Discipline. What are you putting in your mouth? What are you putting in your mouth? Don't put anything in your mouth after 7 o'clock. I'm so serious. If you are hungry, grab a gala apple. Gala apples are great. Grab a gala or gala apple, and have that, or have a tangerine. If you have acid reflux, don't have the tangerine after 7. If you don't, have a gala apple. You can never get wrong with an apple when you're feeling hungry. Just grab an apple. Okay? Do not order the chalupas from Taco Bell. I'm telling you right now. And then another thing that I notice is, I think as you start to like grow, like spiritually and stuff, you'll start to feel like sometimes you'll get migraines after food is delivered to you. I don't know if it's because it's in the person's car and their like energy is on it, but have you noticed that sometimes you feel uneasy when you get food delivered to you like via Uber Eats instead of just going to pick it up yourself? Like I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Is that just like, I don't know if that's like something that happens when you become more spiritually sensitive, but it's like I don't want nobody touching my food. I'm going to go and pick it up myself. I don't want it in the back of your car. You start to feel that feeling. Y'all are not going to believe what happened to me. I was having a big back day 2 weeks ago, and I ordered two massive pizzas from Papa John's with like, so I gotta have my sauce, right? I cannot eat pizza without sauce. So I ordered these two massive pizzas from Papa John's. And on Uber, you can see the person's face that is going to drop off your pizza. And when I looked at the person that was bringing my pizza, the person looked like an alien. I'm not saying an alien from space was dropping off my pizza. I know I say crazy things. No, that's not what I'm saying. The way the person looked, it was like an alien. They were like very deformed. Like I'm not talking about like autism or no, it's just something about them looked very strange. And I'm like, "Oh my God." Don't tell me that's the person dropping off my pizza. I couldn't eat the pizza. I was like, I cannot eat that pizza because I was so disturbed from what I saw. And I said, well, how many times has he done deliveries for me? I was like, oh no. Yo, I had to throw out those pizzas. And I said, you see, this is God telling me to stop ordering those pizzas. Y'all, I sat there and I ordered up. I made this old can of tuna that I had, the can of tuna that was all the way in the back of the pantry. I just opened up that can of tuna and put 2 squirts of mayo and had that because I said at this point I got to eat something, and maybe that's my sign. Y'all, the pizza. He looked. I don't know. God bless him. I don't know what was wrong with him. I don't know. It's hard for me to explain what I saw, but when I saw that, I said I am not eating the pizza, and that was my sign. Just stop ordering out. And then you see those videos on TikTok of people farting in people food, and it's very strange what's going on in the world right now, ladies and gentlemen. Start eating at home, and making your own food at home. Yeah, that the tuna was in the back, the can of tuna that's way back in the pantry that's like real hard on top because it's been there for a while. I didn't have time to go to the grocery store. And that's another thing that I also feel like God convicted me about is when I started ordering groceries. And it's like, Mel, you're not even now you're ordering groceries. Oh, you got it bad, girl. Please go to the grocery store. Like you can't keep ordering everything. Like, no, get up. And then that spirit of laziness was fighting me. And I had to get delivered from that. It's constant deliverance all the time. It's like, ladies and gentlemen, if you keep ordering the Instacart, please go to the grocery store. You don't need to have your groceries delivered to you. Please go to the grocery store, walk around, smell the air, look at prices. Just don't allow life to just become a click of a button for you. That's that fast dopamine that we're getting in society right now. That's why the customer service is terrible because everybody's just a click of a button, a click of a button, a click of a button, chat GPT, click of a button. Everything is a click of a button, chat GPT, create this summary for me. Like nobody's using their minds anymore. Okay. Nobody's using their minds, so I'm like, oh, well, maybe I could use, and I'm like, you know what? No, like even the grammar check, right? I used to use grammar check to check off like my stuff, to check the grammar. And I'm like, you know what? No, I'm gonna just keep reading it aloud to myself like I'm in middle school again. And if there's a grammar error, I'll do it myself. I don't want the computer doing it for me because that's making me lazy. Okay, that's just making me lazy. So when you're going through these rebirths, you guys, it's a lot. So for you guys who have went through a rebirth, and we will talk a little bit about rebirths in the class next Sunday. When you've gone through your rebirth, what did it teach you? What did it reveal about you? You guys can share. This is a safe space. I guess I'll go first. My first rebirth, I don't know what I learned from that because I was a baby. You guys know my testimony, so I don't know what happened because I was a newborn child. So I didn't have any awareness of what was going on. So that one, I didn't really learn something from that since I was a child. My second rebirth taught me you don't need as many people around you as you think. You just need the right people. One good person can equate to 15 low level bonds. One good person can equal 15 low level bonds combined. That's what my rebirth taught me. My second rebirth taught me it's not quantity. Don't worry about quantity. It's about the The quality has to be there. If the quality's not there, it's not even worth your time. One good person. All you need is one good person, right? One good person. My third rebirth taught me that pain can drive you to engage in a lot of self-destructive behaviors. Pain can open the doors to many monsters in you. And the way that you cope with pain is very telling of your mental state. Yes, how you cope with pain shows your level of ascension. The way I coped with pain before, I had to get that out of my life. I don't cope that way anymore because it was doing more damage than good. So, how you cope with pain also shows how evolved you are. Do you start doing self-destructive things when you're in pain? Do you just start going from relationship to relationship, sexual partner to sexual partner, blunt to blunt, bottle to bottle, bottle to bottle? Do you eat when, like, how do you cope with pain? If you cope with pain in a negative way, there's a lack of evolution there. If you cope with pain in a positive way, you're doing really good. During my rebirth, I also learned I started to see um things that I thought I would not be able to survive as a challenge. I started turning scary situations into a challenge for me. I started to turn uncertainty into so that's how my brain, that's what I learned from my third rebirth, because I don't want to engage in self-destructive behavior. I can't go down that path anymore. So I had to learn, okay, if something painful happens to me, or if something challenging happens to me, what is a healthy way for me to process this? So I started to see negative things that happened to me as a challenge of some sort, right? So for example, there was a time I was praying, and I was praying to God, and I like to write down my prayer points and stuff. And a lot of my points were coming from a place of complaints, right? And I already know some of God's words over my life. So in my head, I'm like, okay, Mel, if you already know these prophecies, why are you coming to God in a complaining way, as if you don't already, God's word can't come back void? So instead of addressing and speaking in a place of defeat, you're going to address and speak in a place of faith and patience. So I crossed off everything that I wrote. I just X'd out it. I just tore the page and I started over again, because I'm like, I don't want to victimize myself. I don't want to be a victim. I don't always want to have a victim energy about me, because I've survived worse. I'm going to keep going. So I'm not going to be a victim of anything. I don't want to be a victim. I don't want to be in victimhood. I rather do villainhood over victimhood any days. I rather be the villain than the victim, right? I don't like victimhood. I don't like the way it makes me feel. And I don't like what it invites into your life. I'm going to keep going, right? And it's hard. Better but not where I put the Mary Jane down yesterday too, and it helped with the munchies. Yeah, keep fighting that Mary Jane. Get her off your back. Get her off your back. Get her off your back. My rebirth taught me to respect my authenticity. I love that. And to not make myself small. Oh no. Oh no. Let's talk about the small thing. I am not making myself small to appease people. It's too much work. I feel like it's a chore. I do. I feel like it's a chore to reduce yourself. It's such a chore. Okay, I'm gonna have to be quieter now. I'm not gonna have to show I like myself now. I'm gonna have to, break myself down and show a bunch of insecurities for people to like me. It's too much work. Self-reduction, reducing yourself is too much work. I'm sorry, I'm not doing it. I told people I can't do it and I will not do it. I cannot do it. I will not do it. I'm not interested in doing it. It's just not one of the jobs in life that I want to take on. It's not one of the jobs in my life that I want to take on. Sorry, like I can't be reducing myself. And that's why I tell women all the time, like the minute you feel like you got to tuck your wings in, I tell men all the time, the minute you feel like you have to tuck your wings in, that's not the environment for you and that is not the person for you. I'm sorry. I Nobody ever has to tuck their wings in around me ever. Spread your wings, please. Spread them for you. Spread them for me. Okay? Trying to make people shrink themselves, I'm not going to do it. Just go away. Get away from me. Like leave, go away cuz I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I was doing that for years and it was so suffocating. I'm not making myself small, okay? And that's very big, with relationships too. Like, a couple of weeks ago or months ago, I was talking to this guy and, he sent me a shirtless picture after a couple back and forths. And I blocked him immediately because I don't want to date a woman. I don't. That's too feminine for me. Men that move like that is always going to be the spirit of competition. Like, why are you trying to show yourself in that way? Like, those are the. I'm old school, which means button up, linen shirt, khaki pants, nice loafers. On the weekends, you're cleaning out the garage. An Insta model man? No. Hard pass. I don't like that type of stuff on a guy. Guys that are like, there's nothing wrong with feminine energy. I always say rappers have a lot of feminine energy. Right, when I spoke about that, I think it was it on the Divine Feminine class? I don't remember. When I spoke about how rappers have feminine energy, people were like, "What are you talking about? Rappers are not feminine. They're like gangbangers." I'm like, they have that feminine energy because they're creating music. Yeah, so rappers have a lot of feminine energy. Male rappers and male singers have a lot of feminine energy. So I don't mind a man tapping into his feminine energy when it comes to creativity, when it comes to making music, when it comes to creating, when it comes to putting things together, when it comes to expressing his feelings. But I don't like the whole shirtless Insta model guy thing. That's a turn off for me. I don't think I think that's going to be like dating a woman. You're going to be dating a woman as a woman. You go on that man's page, unless if he's a personal trainer, he can have shirtless photos. Okay, if he's a personal trainer, if he trains people and fitness is like his thing, or he can have some photos where he went on a guy's trip with his guy friends and they're all on a yacht. That's fine. But if you go through a guy's page and it's all like shirtless, muscle posing, I'm not interested in that. That's too feminine for me. I am the woman in the dynamic. And once I see that, it's like, I want you to be going through your toolbox or cleaning out the garage or mowing the lawn. I don't like that type of air about those. I just don't like it. Like, no shade. But when women are like talking about guys like Chris Brown and stuff, and I'm like, oh gosh, like he's very handsome. Very handsome. But I don't really like that womanizer, and like I don't like that. I like him a little more curt, a little bit more rough around the edges, just a little bit. I don't like that sassy. I just don't like that. I just don't like that. I like more of a like, you know, I don't know. I just can't do I can't deal with the whole I just can't do it. Like the minute I got that picture, I just looked at it, it was just an immediate I blocked him immediately. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. And I don't want that sent to me. Because that also shows you're fishing for compliments. I don't like that. I like we like our men. Yes. Yeah, that's what it is. All right, I'm a mid rebirth and I got to go alone so far. I look forward to these master classes. Oh, wonderful, Simone. Are you signed up for the master class on Sunday? Oh my God, this is going to be is this going to be your first master class? The master class this Sunday, you guys, is Archetypes Part 2. This Sunday at 7, and the next Sunday is Spiritual Warfare Part 3. Your levelupcrew.net. If somebody can put that in the chats, that would be great. Sign up, sign up, sign up. It's going to be a very good class. Um, Stop having low expectations while having high expectations for yourself. That's good. That's good. That's good. Uh he'll take longer getting ready. Oh no, no, no. I can't deal with that. That's just insta model men. Oh no. No, no, no. Not insta model men. You want the men man. You know, he could have a picture of him again with the button up linen shirt, the nice khaki pants, at a cigar lounge or at a golf country club, something like that. But no, like model, like pose. Oh no, no, shirtless. No, that guy is going to be so jealous of you as a woman if you get in a relationship with him. He's going to be so. He's going to be so jealous of you and abusive. Like, no, no, constant competition. No, as a man, I don't like taking photos shirtless. Thank you. That means you're very masculine. Don't put shirtless photos are for men who are like fishing for I don't know, it's just a no-go. It's a no-go for me. It's a no-go for me. Um oh my god, my cat loves the sound of your voice. Really? Oh my god, I love animals. I love animals, y'all. Like I'm going to have a farm in the future. I love animals. Bring all the animals and babies to me. No, Ruben, this masterclass is not only for women. My master classes are unisex. The only master classes, like archetypes, is not just for women. Everybody has a different, spiritual archetype. Spiritual warfare is not only for women, men and women. The only master classes I have that as a man you'll know. Thank you for bringing that up, Ruben. Maybe I'm going to put a little note on the side of each masterclass where you can see, like, if you see the man and the woman emoji, it shows that it's for both genders. And if you just see the woman emoji, it's mainly for women. I'm going to add that to the site tonight. I'm going to try to add that. So unless a master class says like divine feminine or weaponize your masculinity, which is for women, or elegance and all that, that's for women. But like spiritual warfare, archetypes, human nature, self-confidence, self-mastery, how to build a business, like those classes are for unisex. You'll be able to tell if they're for unisex. Defeat Jezebel, that's a unisex class, right? I usually like rough around the edges yet kind of guy, but lately I've been talking to a soft, kind gentleman. Oh, is he sweet to you? Is he sweet? I think that masculinity really is the guy who's like, yeah, men can also have their ladies sign up. Yeah. Get your wife a master class for her birthday. She'll love him. She'll love it. She'll learn a lot. Um Mel, I know a guy who posts his half naked body while mowing or at cigar lounge. No, he's not, do not speak to him. I believe he is still fishing for compliments and role playing a man. No, no, no. We don't do those. No. No, You want to know another type that I don't like is the guys online that like pander to women. The ones that are like, when I get my future wife, like I don't like they are literally fishing for more women from like posting stuff like that. I don't really like that. I wanna, there's this one guy on TikTok, I just love it. Like, he's always posting himself taking care of his cattle. I like that. Taking care of the cattle and, shoveling out the grass and stuff like that. It's like, okay, that's some good stock. That's some good stock. Okay. Take the class, guys. Oh, which class did you take, Jan? Jan said, take the class, guys. You guys won't regret it. My classes are really good. I put a lot of effort into them. Can you talk about why women are always jealous of petite girls? So okay, so petite is actually a word that I've always been a little perplexed by. Does petite mean short, or does petite mean skinny? Or does it mean short and skinny? What does petite necessarily mean? Tara Lynn says it gives performative those men. Yeah, I usually block them right away. Like, the minute they show up, I hit the block button immediately, because it's very performative. I don't really like that. Oh, petite is short. So women are jealous of short girls? I never heard of that before. Do you ladies think women are jealous of short girls? Oh, lavish mindset skinny. Well, jealous of skinny girls. Well, being skinny being skinny definitely helps you a lot with maintaining your weight. So if she's having struggles with her weight, she may have that issue. Hold on, you guys. Hello? Okay. Sorry about that. Petite means in French short. Okay. It could be that she sees that your weight is easier to maintain and she's having weight problems. Petite girls kind of have it easy because, like, really, no matter how much you eat, your weight kind of stays the same. And if you gain a little weight, it looks good. So you have that type of leverage. You have that leverage. Um, as a man, I find it weird how other men like to show off. It's like, you are not genuine. If you are genuine, you won't show off. Yeah, I agree. I agree. No, your comments are not shadow banned, Jess. I'm sorry. I was looking at that screen. Hold on, Jess. Let me see. What did you post here? Can you try posting it again? Jess, I didn't see your comment. I'm so Oh, wait. Now I find it to be childish, because why haven't you grown from the womanizer mindset? Yeah, I mean, hey Tina. Okay. It depends the individual and the amount of work they've done. I took the Shadows and Chosen One Throne Rooms classes. Oh yeah, Throne Rooms was very powerful. Like, Throne Rooms is going to turn into a lot more. I'm not going to go into detail, but that was a very powerful revelation that I got for the whole Chosen Ones. That whole series is all based on revelations that God has given me. Need the link, love, or do they come later? They do come a little bit. I have to check. I have to have Alna check on some from this morning, but you will get the Zoom link, of course, always before the class. That's for sure. Yeah, I'm on multiple platforms, Jess. Yes. So here's the thing. The year is gonna be over in 4 months. You don't have time to play. Uh who needs to jump into their new timeline? Are you fighting the jump? Are you fighting the jump? Don't fight the jump. Leave people behind, okay? Don't be afraid to leave people behind. Leave them behind. Leave them behind. Leave them behind. Leave them behind. You cannot slow down your progress because other people are not growing. Leave them behind. Do not let them stunt your progress. Leave them behind. Your new timeline, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. The year is over, y'all. I can't believe this. I'm actually a little bit upset. That's why now in the morning I jump the bed. because it went by a little too fast. 2026, it's like, come on now, you could have at least given me a little more time. So please go ahead and jump into that new timeline. Go ahead and get the faja and put it on, ladies. Do not let your waist get too big, ladies and gentlemen. Do not let your back get too big. Put on the faja and start having the salads. Don't waste the rest of this year. 4 years. Go ahead and call the credit bureau. Get your money together. Who do you owe? Dating. Start treating it like a job. Okay. All right. Become better, more selective, better at your discernment. Less time online, more time learning. You like the Life Monopoly class? Oh my God, I completely forgot about that class. Thank you. It was a very good class. My favorite class out of all my classes are archetypes. That's on Sunday, part 2. Out of all my classes, my favorite is archetypes and weaponize your masculinity. I love weaponize your masculinity. I think that class gives women the push that they need to get out there. Like, it's such a powerful class. I'm about to switch my major because I'm tired of people pleasing, trying to make my father proud. What major did he put? Did are you in? What major? I'm short. I'm 5'2". I'm 5'1", y'all. I'm basically 5 feet. I'm 5'1" with a little bit of, if I wear something with a little platform on it, I'm 5 feet, y'all. So I know when I'm older, I'm going to get shorter. Because, as they say, as you get older, you're going to get shorter. So I'm sure by the time I'm like 70, I'll be like 4'11". I'm only 5 feet now. So by the time I'm like 80, I'll probably be 4'11". I'm a very short woman. I'm telling you, when people see me, they're like, oh my God, she's so tiny. I had no idea. I'm a very tiny person. I'm a small person, y'all. I gotta have, when I drive, my car seat has to be very close to the wheel because I gotta make sure my foot can touch on the gas. Very tiny person. Very tiny person. Okay. Have you spoken about leaving behind toxic family members and surviving isolation? Yes, I have. I have just look up divestment on my channel. I talk about it all the time. You have a faja on right now. Good. Put the faja on and get tightened if it's getting loose. Okay. Your walking pad is being delivered. Wonderful. Keep it going. Thank you, Lady A Slays. How can I contact you? Right now. Right on here. He wants me to go to school for cybersecurity, but that's not what I want to pursue. Well, tell him that. Tell him that. The class links, let me put it in here, and it's also on yourlevelupguru.net, you guys. The class links, if you go to the website, it'll pop up immediately, but I'll put the link. I just put it. Let me see if I can respond to you, Leslie. Does it let me respond to people? Oh yeah, it does. Okay. Do you talk about limerence? Not as much, but I should. Why do strangers approach you constantly when you're leveling up? Just to distract you. What other site are you on live so I can follow on there as well? YouTube. I'm on YouTube live. I'm tall and love. You're tall and love. Okay. There's a lot of power you command being a tall woman. Don't ever want to be short. Just love how you are. Mel, so happy caught you on live. Thanks for your gift. You're welcome, Prince Pharrell. So here's the thing. So the year is coming to an end, right? The year is coming to an end. The year is closing. The year is practically over. August, September, October, November, December. Right now, we are already, what is it, August 7th. We don't have time to waste. Take this, if you just landed on this live right now, take this as your sign that you don't have any time to waste. You got 4 months. So whatever it is that you were supposed to do that you still haven't done because of laziness, spiritual attacks, whatever the case may be, this is your time to get back in alignment and do what you have to do. You're not getting any younger. Okay. You're aging. And again, you don't want to be in a nursing home at 85, looking at your past, regretting your life, and feeling like you didn't get enough done. Okay, and that's what those spirits of delay do. We'll talk about that in the masterclass on next week. The spirit of delay is always going to want you to stay in bed longer, sleep longer. I'll work on it next week instead. I'll go to the gym next year instead. That's how that spirit works. Is it wants to keep you stagnant. So to fight that, you have to have a do it now mentality. I'm going to do it right now. That has to be your mind, because you don't have as much time as you think. You feel so behind. Well, get in the game then. Why do you feel behind? Dream big. You have to act on those feelings. If you feel behind, there is more required of you. Either spiritually, more is required of you, or physically, or both. Working towards seeking an ambassador job for myself in my country ministry of health. Please pray for me. I will. You feel behind spiritually? Well, then are you praying? Because a lot of people sometimes can try to slow you down spiritually. I've had family members in the past try to do that to me. They can like play around in your destiny and they keep you backward, you know? You see people who don't have half of your intelligence and they're farther than you because you may have somebody in your family that's playing around in your destiny. That's why you got to do those destiny prayers and pray about your destiny so that people don't have the power to come in and manipulate it, because sometimes they don't want you getting farther than their kids. So if you have like an aunt or an uncle who's spiteful and they feel like you're very smart but you're someone else's kid, they'll delay your life so that their kids can get ahead and you can stay behind and they can feel better about the kids that they had in comparison to you. That's very popular in Caribbean families. So you have to stay on top of it. And then you have to aggressively be praying in a very aggressive manner to make sure that that delay is not coming in. You have to be on it and ready to go. Working towards buying your first home. Wonderful. Do not tell anybody when you're about to buy your first house, okay? You tell people you bought it after you signed off on the deed. Mel, I want to move somewhere else alone where no one knows me. Please pray for me. I will. You know, if you guys want prayer points, I have the prayer point list. I emailed it to about 15 people yesterday. It's just a list of different points that you can add into your prayers to protect yourself. Is this why I've been waking up super early around 3 a.m.? A lot of times that just means either God's waking you up to pray or that's like spiritual attacks. How can I know if someone is a monitoring spirit when they always end up doing what I want or plan to do, yet I never tell them anything? It could be that too. You have to pray over your mirrors in your house. Um, does anyone here have constant dreams about being back in old schools? That's the spirit of delay. Old house, delay. That's all delay. I can't send it here on TikTok, Jess, but you can send me an email, yourlevelupguru@aol.com, and I'll send it to yeah, and I'll send it to you that way. I learned from you, no soul will know what I'm moving and dropping. Nope. Don't do it. Tell them after it's done. What's crazy is if these people playing around with your destiny, would you put the same attention into their own, they would be further. Well, they feel like they will not be able to compete with your destiny. That's the thing. Ooh, I learned this year that so many family members were doing that who I loved and trusted. Yeah, I had family members very close to me that I actually thought loved me, that I had a dream that they were like manipulating my destiny and trying to hold on to my progress, you know. And once I saw it in the dream and they were forced to let it go, I kind of just stopped talking to them after that. When God gave me revelation on that. Send me an email, friend, the intuitive, send me an email. I have had this issue in my family where my aunt was jealous about me and my brother making progress. Yeah, it's always an aunt sometimes. How do you handle jealous people that really want to lay hands on you? Brianna, I don't go around people who are like that, my dear. I won't even be in the same room as somebody who feels like laying hands is the answer. Get away from them, divest. Ladies, I already spoke about this in the Weaponize Your Masculinity Masterclass. If you got to work 2 or 3 jobs to be in better environments, you're going to have to work 2 or 3 jobs to be in better environments. You know, you got to get out of those spaces. You got to get out of those spaces. I've been having nightmares after speaking to a family member every time. Well, stop talking to them. Genuinely, a lot of the times it's your family and siblings. I have had this issue in my family. Okay, I read that. I choose to move away from my island, and it was a great decision for my level up. What island was it? Um. Oh no, this is this Sunday. I still need my link unless it comes out later. Yeah, you're gonna get the link today, Simone. You're gonna get the link today. Yeah, it is this Sunday. The class is this Sunday. I mean, the way that I see it is like this. Just like in your physical life, it requires a lot of work and effort. Your spiritual life also requires a lot of work and effort. Like, praying, meditating, affirming, anointing. It's a lot that you're going to have to do. People will try to see. Remember, I told you guys I had that dream of this like family friend of mine, and an old family friend of mine, and she kind of like interrupted my presentation and tried to take over it, and I had to kick her out of the classroom. That shows me that spiritually she's trying to that's like a destiny swap that didn't work, because in the dream she got kicked out and all her stuff, right? So again, if you're not praying, the master class on Sunday is at 7 p.m. My master classes are always at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2 Sundays out of the month, ladies and gentlemen. It's 2 Sundays out of every month. I have master classes Sundays at 7 p.m. It's been happening for the last 2 years, y'all. Um, Can a man hold back a woman from her destiny if he is using her as a host for star power? Yes. He was in the basement and now she leveled him up and she thinks she can change him. People who are jealous, yes, all of my master classes are recorded. You will have access to the recording indefinitely. It doesn't matter how many master classes you've purchased. You'll always be able to go back to the class and rewatch it all over again. Okay, these master classes are like 3 to 4 hours, so it's like literally a whole course. People who are jealous and have hatred in their heart are the type of people who voluntarily consume their own venom. Left my faja, but I've been on it for real. I'm excited to keep going up. The other day you asked, did I get my link? And I didn't, so I assume I'm missing it. I definitely don't want to miss out. You're not going to miss out, Simone. Let me actually check right now. Well, I don't want you to put your email in here. Send me an email, if you can, Simone, while you're on. Um, my ex-brother and his girlfriend didn't get their own place until I did. They're jealous of you. Spirit of jealousy. They don't move until you move. They don't make a move until you make a move, my dear. That's jealousy. The same side of Tanya, it's just jealousy. It's just jealousy. You're gonna love it, Simone. Yeah, that's just jealousy. Anytime somebody has to do things the moment you do it, that's jealousy. That's jealousy and envy. Someone from my past who was mentoring me, who I intuitive felt like was holding me back, came back recently. That same night, I saw a big spider over my bed in my dreams. Okay, it's just Mona. She's coveting you. That's all. Body contouring machine is a great cheat code to spot reduce. Oh, wow, I never heard of a body contouring machine. I may have to look into that. Have you noticed the rise of the down low man? It's almost bigger than the original gay community. Yeah, I think there are a lot of men who are DL. It's more misleading than men who are actually, publicly showing that they're gay. The DL men, what they're doing is they're destroying the lives of their wives and girlfriends because they're misleading her. I think that it's easy to see if a man is DL because he's going to be very aggressive towards you as a woman. Very aggressive. He's going to want to break you down as much as possible. He may even be physically abusive. The DL man doesn't. Another thing I've noticed about the DL man, a man is DL when he is obsessed with a woman's submission. That's another pattern about them I've realized, is when they are obsessed with a woman submitting to them, being lower than them, being inferior to them, being less intelligent than them. They have an obsession with a submission. All their content is about women submitting. Like that's their whole page. They have this anger, this hatefulness. And the minute I see that, it's like, please get away from me. Please go. Like, you want a man. Like, I can tell, like, just off of your speech alone, the aggression in your voice when you talk about women in totality tells me everything I need to know. And they think they can hide it. You know, when they start bringing up, oh, well, women have it easy and women have it this and women can do this and women can, the minute they start talking like that, you already know the deal. And I've noticed that a lot of men who are like that are very angry at women who do like OnlyFans. Like, they're upset at the benefits women can get from, like, just being pretty or semi pretty or hot. They're angry at the benefits that women get because of their beauty. And that's not me promoting OnlyFans. I don't have an OnlyFans. I'm not saying that that lifestyle, I'm not promoting that, but that's one thing I've noticed about them is they're very concerned with women. They have a high concern. They have more of a concern with women as they do with men. That is also a red flag. That's why when people come on here and like, oh, well, all Mel does is talk down on women. All Mel does is talk about women. Yeah, I'm a woman. That's my gender. That's who I'm going to talk about. I'm living life in women. Yeah. So when I see a man where all his content is women, women, women are this, women need this, women, it's an obsession with women. I'm like, okay, he's competing with women. You know, all the red pillars, all of them, they're all DO. All of them. All of them. All of them. It's a huge factor that they might be. Right? It's you know, and that's why when women say, "Oh well, Mel does talk about women and she hates women." It's like, well, why would people think that I don't like women? Like, can you guys tell me why? Sometimes, you know, some people say I am like a misogynist. Y'all, the comments, it's like I'm a mean girl. I've got a mean girl, misogynist, narcissist, and witch. And it's like, all I do is tell the truth. And it just gets me this reputation sometimes, you know? I don't know why, but that's sometimes my rep, you know. And I think it's I always tell women all the time, anytime a woman is speaking on the behaviors of women, women think that you hate them because they're not used to being told about what they do. They're used to it being swept under the rug, right? Um you have been through a lot with women. I have. I have. I really have. It's just I have. I definitely have. I didn't let it like break me or stop me. But I have. And I think it's all coming from being lost. It is. If a woman is lost, she's going to always view women as her enemy. If a woman is lost, she's going to want to make women pay for all the pain she's been through in her life. How did you cope being a beautiful woman? I just really stay away from people. It's a proximity thing. I limit my proximity. My life is very peaceful. It's only really difficult being a beautiful woman when there you give proximity like candy. I don't. I stay away, and my life has been peaceful ever since. Mel, if they say that about you, they don't like to hear the truth. I know. I know. Women hate accountability. They do. Women hate when people see the toxic behind their mask. That's true. What about old ones? Yeah, all of the old classes recordings are available, Simone. All of them. All of them. Have you guys not been seeing my advertisements? I've been posting them. Recordings are available. A lot of women say they thought I was extremely judgmental. Okay, the problem that I have, I'm a woman that likes to progress and get to the next level. A lot of times, female friendships cannot be maintained unless you and the other woman are on the same level at all times. So it's almost like you're forced to not grow in order to maintain the friendship. The minute you grow, it's a problem. We see this with Portia and Shamia. They were perfect friends when Shamia was the sidekick. They were perfect friends when Shamia was just a friend of the show and Shamia didn't have a peach. But the minute Shamia got on the show, and got a peach and got to display her life, it was a problem. So was the friendship really real? A lot of women, the friendships will not last past one friend evolving and moving up. So if you're the type of woman where you're always progressing and you always want to get to the next level, you're not going to be able to maintain a lot of female friendships because they don't work once one friend moves up. They only work if you're right here or you're going down. They don't work once you succeed. So it's like, okay, what do I want, to succeed and progress in my life or have a bunch of friends? I chose option A, right? Because you can see this, like Portia and Shamia were like this, but Portia was here and Shamia was here. But once they became here, or Shamia here, the friendship don't last no more. And it's like, that's what I'm saying. Like, they only last when one is beneath or on the same. There's no progression. Once you progress, things get funny. I've observed that. I've observed that. So once I realized I'm not going to stay in the same place, and a lot of times when you're a woman who wants to move forward and then you're going out with a girlfriend, here comes the jabs. Hold on, you guys. Hello? Yeah. Okay. So what I was saying is, okay, women are not going to be honest about this. Female friendships can only be maintained if both women are at the same level. That's the only way the friendship is going to last. It's going to get sour. We see this in reality TV. We see this in our family. If you are a woman that is sovereign, that you constantly want to progress, you will have associates. That's the farthest it can go. It's the farthest it can go. It can't go any farther than that. Because think about it. When Shamia and Portia, they were like this. The minute Shamia got a big break and an opportunity to be on a show like her, their friendship turned into a cat and dog scenario. Why? Because one friend took a step forward. So a lot of women are like, oh, my friendships are so perfect. Let's see you take a step forward. Let's see you purchase the $1 million house. Let's see your business take off. Let's see you find a man who loves you inside out and spoils you. Let's see if it can sustain that. It probably will not. And that's not me being pessimistic. I'm just going based on observation. Let's see it exists after you get what she's always wanted before she did. And women can lie all they want, but I see this stuff in real time. I don't think you don't like women, Mel. I think you want women to know their power because there are many women out there who don't know what they're capable of. Exactly. I'll give you another example. That was Shamia and Portia. Look at Evelyn and Jen. Perfect example. Look at Evelyn and Jen on Basketball Wives. Look at the old seasons. Their friendship was only tight when they were both on the same level. The minute Evelyn made progress, fight. The minute Jen made progress, fight. It's like it's always going to turn into a fight when one member progresses. There's psychologists that talk about this. There's a research lady that posted a TikTok about this where I'm going to see if I can find it, where she literally said it's always this underlying competitive spirit. That's just, you know, once I got my nursing degree and married, I lost a bunch of friends. Yes, a woman progresses, she's going to lose friends. She liked it when I had no degree and was not, and exactly. So she liked it when you had no degree and you weren't married. So imagine if like me, I always tell people, I am a go-getter woman. That's my personality. I'm a go-getter. That's just me. I'm always focused on what's the next big thing, what's the next best thing, what's the next thing I can conquer, what is the next thing I can accomplish, what is the next thing I can do, what can I do to make myself be better. I am committed to evolution. I'm committed to self-mastery. I'm committed to ascension. I'm committed to growth. So once I realize that, because I'm committed to that, in order for me to be able to have friendship, I have to stay at the same level at all times or for long periods of time. I'm not willing to do that. So once I realized that, hi Mel, for the spiritual warfare class, should I watch the first two before the next class? No. This class is not a continuation necessarily of the first two. It's brand new concepts. Plus people, men and women, feel like justifying their actions by opposing true statements. My sister, okay, coveting is mainly watching everything. Okay, Bethany, you'll get the link. Um, so what was I saying again? Women and friendships. Then of course it has to do with your archetypes. Some archetypes can't have friends. Ah! Is somebody gonna chew me out? Is somebody gonna chew me out? Are the ladies in the group chats gonna chew me out? Somebody get ready to chew me out? Some archetypes can't have friends. Not all archetypes. I'm one of those. My archetypes. I can't have them. They are. I just can't. I just can't. I can't. I'm a Leo. I can't. Oh, I'm a Leo too. Yeah, I can't. I just can't. Like I don't even bother because I can't. I can't. It doesn't. It never works out. Like it. It just never works out. And then I realized, oh, okay, certain archetypes can't really have that. Because of just, they turn into you. Like it's scary. Like they develop like obsessions with you. Like it just becomes very unhealthy. Like, I just can't have them. I just can't. Sometimes your anointing causes you can't have friends. Like you just can't really have them. Like, and I always using certain people as an example where I said, where Michael Jackson, where they said, who are your friends? He's like, because he didn't have friends. He couldn't have friends. When Tina talks about Beyonce and how she never had friends, I don't really consider Kelly and Michelle her friends. They're like her sisters. They all grew up together. Those are like her cousins. But she doesn't have friends. She can't have, she can't have them. What did the wizard list say? She doesn't have any friends. Even as much as the women like to go online sometimes and trash me and say that, oh, she hates women, even your favorite that you say is so amazing, even Shara 7 don't got friends. And she's talked about it. She says, not everybody can have them. She doesn't have them herself. She doesn't have them. She doesn't have them. Not everybody can have them. Certain archetypes of people cannot have them. It doesn't, you just got to do your own thing. Like that's just your archetype. And I will touch on that in the archetypes masterclass this Sunday too. Like certain archetypes you can have them. Certain archetypes you just can't. Like it's just, you're not constructed to have that. Associates, sure. But friends, it just never works out for you for some reason. It always turns brutal. And that's been happening to you since you were a child. So not everybody can have friends, and not everybody needs to have them. You're like enough. How do you find your archetype? Well, I'm going to talk about it in the class. That was part 1, and this class is going to be part 2. There are so many different. So these archetypes, I want to make something clear. These archetypes from this class are the spiritual archetypes that I've seen that people have had. So the names that you hear, you've never heard them before. Okay, because they're based on my observation. Remember when I started talking about the bright star on my channel in 2024? The bright star is an archetype. We already went over bright star and archetype part 1. Another archetype that I talked about was the transmutationist. We talked about that in part one. There are different archetypes. From the spiritual perspective of what I've seen. Okay, bright stars can't really have the whole friend thing because they're too large in scale. They don't have friends. They're there to give their contributions and then leave. Okay. So you got a lot of times with female friendships. And okay, so I use Evelyn and Jen as an example. I use Shamia and Portia as an example. Um, it's just I've noticed in my past with the friendships I had, it was always this trying to humble me. Like my friends did not want me to know my currencies. It was a constant battle, a silent battle within the friendship. And then I realized I don't really need this. Like I'm not everybody's different. You guys don't have to be like this. Everybody's different. But I never get up and think about, oh, I have a longing for this. Like I don't feel that feeling. And I know not every woman's like that. And if you're like that, it's fine. Like that's not me talking down on you, but I never feel and that's what I always get so weird. Nobody gets mad at women who say they never have a longing for kids. Nobody ever gets mad at women who say they don't have a longing for marriage. Nobody gets mad at men who say the same thing. But people get weird when some people say they don't have a longing for friendship. I just don't have that longing. I don't get up and it's like, I need to find a friend. Like, I don't feel like that. I actually feel very happy. Like, I don't have that longing. And I think it's because I've become comfortable knowing that not everyone is going to have a bunch of friends and not everyone needs them. Some people, they're enough. I think I heard a clip of Shara saying that. Not everybody needs that. Not everyone needs that. Some people, they need that, and that's fine because they may have a communal like spirit, but not everybody needs that. So I don't ever feel that. I don't know. I never really feel that. My sister and I live together along with her baby daddy staying with us and he's abusive to her and a narcissist. He even threatened you. Oh gosh, yeah, you can't get in the middle of that. My new friend, she is doing good in life. Nice. She's beautiful, happily married, has a good career and home. Beautiful. I love her. Technically, she has more than me, but she never makes me uncomfortable. Good. Very good. My ex BFF told me she liked me better when I wasn't working because I was more available. Yeah, Shamia got married, had a baby, has a nice house, no marital drama. Now she's a problem for Portia. Yeah. Evolution and ascension and growth. Amen. Amen. Um, that was my old friendship. When I started setting boundaries with family, there was a lot of pushback from her. I only miss having friends sometimes. I try to just put into me when you elevate, they start reminding you of the past. I used to be so popular and had so many friends as a teen, but Lord, now in this big age, I can't have friends. Yep, I'm so focused on building. Mel, I asked this year to shift me to a new timeline. Good. Jeremiah said I can't have friends. It doesn't work out. It's not for it's not for everyone. It's it's not for everyone and that's okay. It's okay. There's nothing wrong. You know, not everybody's going to have a whole bunch of friends. It's not for everyone. It's just like those people, some people they get married and they're like, "Oh my god, they got married and they wanted a divorce after 30 days cuz they hated it and they ran and got an annulment." Like it's not everything is for everyone. That's the thing. Right? Nikki could never be as classy as you, respectfully. Oh, well, Laura, don't say that. I like Nikki. Don't say that. I really like her. I really do. I really do like Nicki Minaj. She's a sweet woman. She's just been through so much with that industry. You're right. That one friend Shara had was throwing. No, Shara, she can't have friends because she's such a large scaled person. She doesn't need them. She doesn't need to have them. She has her daughters. She doesn't. Not everybody needs that. That's the thing. you know. I can't have friends. Marina said, I can't have friends. They become jealous and obsessed with me. Hey, it's not for everybody. Maybe Nicki Minaj would not have many friends. She has a yeah, Nicki has a polarizing personality. She can't really have friends. They always turn against her. Like she can't have them. Um, my dad says he doesn't have a longing for friends. He has people in his life, but he's truly a loner, and it's not for everybody. It- it- you know, it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. My Leo wife is my only best friend, and that's enough. Yeah, if you have like a Leo spouse, like you have a spouse for life. Like they're a lot of fun. They're a lot of fun. Associates is fine. Yes. At this point, I just don't know. LOL. I don't want to do girly dates. I knew that I couldn't really have the friends when I would like go out with them and I like wanted to leave. Like I don't know. Like as I got older, I'm like, oh my God, I want to go home. Like once I started to feel that feeling, that's when I realized I think I'm past this. Like in college and stuff, it worked, but then it's like I kind of wanted to go home. I'm like, oh God, I got to do laundry. There's so many things that I have to do. And I would be thinking about stuff like that. And I realized, well, baby, this is not the best for me, because I'm not very present. Shedding of old habits. Yes, that's what you got to do, Vix. Yet everyone wants a Sex in the City crew. Um, yeah, those type of friendships are great, but those things are really hard to maintain. Like the group of friends it's always a lot of fighting and I just can't deal with that. I think one friend, like if you have a friend that's like one friend and you guys are cool and it's like she's doing her thing, you're doing your thing, and you guys meet, once a month or something to have a drink or two. Those are so much better than like the friend group. And oh my God, those are just a disaster. Um, I'm tired of friends trying to humble me. Nicki Minaj don't ever like black women. Okay, you see, just so I'm going to have to stop you. I think it's actually the other way around. I think it's the other way around. I don't think that Nicki has a problem with black women. I really don't think. I don't think she does. Nicki is going to come for anybody who comes for her. It doesn't matter your color. She'll go back and forth with anybody. She'll go back and forth with anybody. So we're not gonna say she doesn't like a particular group because that's not true. I don't like friends. They always have slick comments and are never really happy for me. I end up annoyed and uncomfortable. Okay, well, just pray the right one in if you still have a longing for them. Um, Yep, my spouse is a Leo born on the 29th of July. She's fiery and I'm her opposite. I'm an Aquarius. Oh, that's a cute mix. Do many beautiful women have very similar experience dealing with angry women? Yes, they like want to harm you. Yeah. Yeah. I've gotten so many unaliving threats in my emails. I've had women send me an email saying they're going to get me, they're going to get my parents. Like, yes, I have had that. And I'm like, what do my parents have to do with anything? They're just hateful. So, after a while of dealing with that, you just get turned off. Overall. Yeah, I've got emails like that. I've gotten emails like that from women who watch me online. What do my elderly parents have to do with any? Because they're just hateful. So when you're a beautiful woman, people get mad when you're nonchalant and they feel like you give people the cold shoulder, because who wants to be getting verbally abused by people all the time? Nobody wants to deal with that nonsense. So you're just not going to get access at all. And that's just how I do things. I put out that remember, I put out that video. I talked about the scene between Drea and Malaysia and how it wasn't right what Drea did to Malaysia, but I also say I understand because the ladies were very mean to Drea when she first got on the show. So when Drea became cold towards the last seasons, and the women were like, "Oh, well, you're not there for us. You're not really present. You're not." Y'all treated that girl like trash when she first got on the show. You guys turned her off. She's turned off. She doesn't care for the bonds. She doesn't care to connect with you guys. And I think that that's sometimes what ends up happening to very beautiful women is you just don't desire those deep connections anymore because you've been through so much for just existing, so much bullying, and that you just get turned off and you become that person where you just want to handle your business and stay away. And I think that that's also what happened to Drea. Like towards the end of the season, you can see Drea taking deep, like she did not want to be around them anymore. Like you can tell she wasn't going to do the show again because she just didn't care. Like they treated her so badly in the beginning that in the end she didn't want to be in community with those ladies. She just wanted to, like you could tell towards the end she was just doing it for a check. She didn't want to be around them anymore. But look, they completely broke her spirit in the beginning. And a lot of times that's what the pretty woman is going to go through. So when the pretty woman again gets reborn after all of that, she becomes the girl or the woman that women are like, "Oh wow, she doesn't really look like she's really into getting to know us." That's who the pretty girl turns into, because it was so much mental abuse in the beginning that it's like she gets turned off, and then she just is just off everybody at that point. And then it's like women are like, "Oh, what do we do? There's nothing to do. She's been reborn and she doesn't want to get bullied because of how she looks anymore, so she just stays away from everybody in totality." And that's kind of what happened. I think that's what happened to Drea. I also think that's what happened to Beyonce. It's like, nope, she doesn't want to do interviews. No, 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 no. I just want to perform and get off stage. You just get you. That's where you get. You get to that point, and that's what it is. What has warranted unaliving threats? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what would warrant that. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what would warrant stuff like that. I don't know. Um, I don't understand that type of behavior. Nicki Minaj just needs to divest. What do you mean by divest from what? Also, stop inviting friends over because they're either get angry I live better than them or laugh for not living better than them. Yeah, that's too much work. That's too much work. For some reason, my friends, people in general, underestimate me. It's what it is. But why do people hate you? You're so sweet. I don't know. I don't know. I think it's just my energy. It's like my spirit. It's my calling. It's my anointing. I've always dealt with hate from people. It's not anything new. The only difference is now I don't allow it in. Like I can reject you. Like you're going to get rejected. Like I'm not going to even let it begin. So that's the difference now. Like I don't have to be abused by you because you feel inadequate around me. I can reject you. And that's where the mean girl label comes in. It's like you think you're going to come in and it's like, "Up, reject it. I'm going to reject you. There's a door. Get out." That's where the mean girl label comes in, the certified mean girl. I got to take my certified mean girl cards out because I don't have to be abused by you just because you feel inadequate in comparison to me. You have to let people in to start messing with you. They need some type of access. I don't give it. That's the thing. Because I have the right to be happy and protect myself from people's shenanigans. That's the thing. That's where the mean girl accusations come in, because people think that because they feel triggered by you, you have to tolerate their abuse. People can reject you. I tell men and women that all the time. People can stop calling you. People can block you. People cannot give you access to their life anymore. People can go out with you one time and never go out with you again. People don't have to get abused by you because you feel triggered by them. So that's where women will start calling certain girls mean girls because they want to get close to you and you're not giving your proximity out like cotton candy. So now they're mad because they know in order for me to make her feel the worst about herself, I need access to her. Women need access, men need access. Without access, the damage they can do, it's limited. It's limited. The damage is very limited. So that's what the conclusion that I've come to is, I've always kind of affected people in certain ways, which is fine. It's my anointing. It's fine. I'm not worried about it, but I don't have to be a victim of it. Right? So you can't control people's actions, but you can control your reactions and your protection. So once I learned that, I said, okay, men react that way to me, women react that way to me. That's fine. I don't have to allow you in to abuse me, though. That's the thing. I can reject you. I could block you. I could get you out of my space. I could do whatever I need to do to not be a victim of you. And that's what gets me the mean girl label, the certified mean girl certification. Is when a woman thinks, oh, well, I'm going to try to get close to her and keep throwing jabs. And I tell her, well, you can't book with me anymore. When I start to feel that energy, they didn't expect me to say, you're done. Because they think in their mind that I can come into her space and be passive aggressive. I can disrespect her. I can try to gain that space to get close to her to be able to do that. No, I can reject you. That's the thing. The same thing with men. People don't have to be a recipient of your abuse. People can reject you. They can never talk to you. People are not automatically required to tolerate you. It's the same thing with family. When family tells me, "Oh, well, why can't we just have a sit down?" Because I don't want to. I don't have to deal with abuse. I can remove myself. I have free will as a human being. I have the right to walk away. So what people try to do, especially to beautiful women, is they try to gaslight you into believing you don't have a choice. And they gaslight you into believing you have to deal with them. You don't have to deal with anything or anyone that you don't want to deal with, especially if it's toxic. You don't have to, but they're putting in your mind that you do. So that's why people are always hoping that the beautiful woman is friendly. They're always hoping she's open because the only way they're going to be able to abuse and bully that beautiful woman is if they have access. That's why they get turned off when you have a stay back aura about you because there's no route for them to enter. And that's how you have to be. Your gates are closed until you allow people to enter. It's not up to them, it's up to you. Connections are consensual. Your connections are consensual. You have to consent to a relationship. You have to consent to a friendship. You have to consent. Your consent is required. But a lot of times when you're a beautiful woman, people want you to believe that your consent is not required and they could just berate you and they can just invade you. And that's their way essentially of giving you some type of punishment of some sort. Right? Taylor Swift lost all her female friends when she became a billionaire. Yeah, of course, because she advanced. Yeah, peace is everything to me. It's everything. It's everything. It's everything and more. It's so important. Yeah, beautiful people have the right to protect yourself. And peace like everybody else. You don't have to be more graceful or more understanding or more you don't have to do it. Those are all invisible rules that people create to bully you. You don't have to do any of those things. You don't have to give them power. Exactly. It just comes with the territory. I needed this message much. Like you don't. Hi, do you have a believer to join? No, no. Why would you have to be a believer to join my archetype class? My classes are not about like they're not like religious based necessarily. I may use some examples from the Bible, but this is anyone. This is my classes are for everyone. What does weaponize your masculinity have to do with being a believer? What does human nature have to do? You guys have to understand, I don't marginalize myself. I am a Christian, I am a believer, but I'm not marginalized. Like this, my Christian platform is Children of the Light. Your Level Up Guru is leveling up classes, courses, guides, and content for everybody all around the world, no matter what your color, race, gender, or age is. I don't marginalize myself. All my classes are for there's everybody's on there. There's Jewish people on there, there's Muslim people on there, there's everybody on there. It's for everybody. It's for everybody. Um, so yeah, I think that yeah, that's one of the downsides of beauty is you get negative reactions from people, and that's fine. But what people don't understand is you have the right to push back when somebody feels like they're getting ready to abuse you because you're pretty. That is where the twist comes in. Like where I can see people's mannerisms start to change and they start to think, "Oh, I'm going to do this," and then I stop them and the reflex is fast. I'm not afraid to be mean. You can't use calling me mean as a way to bully me into allowing you to overstep. I will be mean, and I will be the biggest mean person you'll ever experience if I have to be. I will be a bully. I will bully you back. If you're bullying me, I bully back. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Because people use labels to keep beautiful women afraid of stopping people when they think that they're going to mess around with you. They think, oh, well, if we're going to call her mean. So we're going to say she's all this stuff to see. I don't care. That's my boundary. Don't cross it. Don't cross that line. And I am mean. Now what about it? You're being mean and I'm being mean too. What's the damn difference? But they don't like that. See, people don't like it when you're beautiful like that because they know that whatever rage or internalized issue they have with you, it's not going to work because you're going to bully back and you're going to push back and you're going to also give them a problem if they want to give you one. And you will react if they are threatening your personal space and all that stuff, right? People, that's their assumption is they're going to use a label as a way to keep you in place. I have never cared about the mean girl title. I've never cared about that because I've realized it's just a way to keep you in place so the bullying can continue, right? It's just a way. Like I always use her as an example. I know she's not the best example, but I'll use her as an example. I know she has her flaws. I use Evelyn Lozada as an example because I tell people all the time, if Evelyn Lozada, especially with the beauty she had when the show Basketball Wives first started, if Evelyn Lozada was passive, the women would have chewed her up and spit her out. The women would have chewed her up and spit her out if she was a passive personality with the level of beauty she had. So when the women got on the show and they saw that Evelyn will absolutely react, she will absolutely bully you back, she will push back, they knew better, so they tried to be friends with her instead. But if she had a personality like Susie, if she had a personality like Jen, they were going to tear her apart on that show. Evelyn did not go through what Drea went through because Evelyn didn't come in there like that. She came in there like, listen, what are we doing? What do you want to do? I'm on whatever you're on. They left her alone. If anything, they tried to be her friend. But if with that beauty, if she came in with Drea's energy, they would have spit her out. The women on that, they knew better. So when you're a beautiful woman and you're passive, it's not going to work out for you. It's not. It is not going to work out for you if you're beautiful and passive. I am sorry. Look at what they did to Drea. They called her worthless. They said that she had no worth. in the middle of a therapy session. They called her worthless on national TV. By the time you got to the word less, Evan would have already had a bottle thrown at your head. You wouldn't even be able to finish the word. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm just saying the ladies checked themselves with her. They could not bully her because of her beauty. They could not. Even if they wanted to, they couldn't. So that's the thing with beauty. People want you to be beauty and passive so that they can chew you up and degrade you. But if you're beautiful and you're still kind, but you have your boundaries, they cannot try it with you. They're going to think twice. So it's I tremble when I see beautiful women who are passive. I tremble because they're going to eat you up bad just because you're attractive. But with Evelyn, oh, she's going to bully you back in such an aggressive manner that you're going to wish you never bullied her. Like she was, oh my God. From the first confessional of her I saw, I'm like, they're not going to be able to bully her. They're not going to be able to. They're going to want to, because a lot of times you'll see, even with men, when they see a beautiful woman, they're already preparing themselves to humble you, to say something to you. Because beauty is a gift. It is a gift. That's why it creates so much warfare on you when you're beautiful. So it's a great case study, Sexiana. It's a great case study. I always tell people, watch the season when Evelyn came in, who's a beautiful, no nonsense woman. Watch the season when Drea came in, Drea became no nonsense over time because she didn't have a choice. But Drea came in there with a very different energy about her. And that's why they did her dirty like that. Put Evelyn on Drea's season with that cast, and let's see if they were going to pull those stunts with Evelyn. They wouldn't. They wouldn't. They wouldn't. They wouldn't, because they wouldn't be able to. They wouldn't be able to. They were not going to be able to. That's the thing. Because she's not a passive personality. It's not that she's rude or mean. She's just not going to allow you to make her uncomfortable. She's not going to allow you to ruin her experience, to ruin her time at the dinner, she's not going to let you ruin her. And that's what's also important about being beautiful, is not allowing women or men to think that they're going to ruin your experience by way of bullying or whatever. And that's something that I had to learn, was to not even let it start. That's the thing. Once it starts, I have to stop it, because I am a person. I have a heart. I have feelings, correct? Beautiful women are not NPCs. They are not people that you could just beat on to make yourself feel better. They're people. They have a right to protect themselves and be happy. And once I realized that, the poker face is on 10. It is. It is going to be on a good 10 to 15. Yeah. And I'm going to stop you. Right? So I had to learn that early on. I wasn't always like that. I was getting attacked left to right. I was constantly getting attacked. Hello. So yeah, so I had to learn that. I had to, because it's like the minute a man or a woman is attractive, people already want to like punish you. Like you can see their whole body language change and they become very like defensive. The minute you walk in, they're on defense already. Like it's the weirdest thing. That's why I said that beauty is a gift and it can bring spiritual attack, because people immediately get on defense mode the minute you walk in the room. Their whole body language turns aggressive, right? And they think that I'm going to punish you for the way that you look. But it's like, but I'm going to bully you back, though. That's the thing. I'm going to bully back. And once you bully back, because you're attractive, you're the problem. Not the people that initiated it, not the woman that jumped on you. You're the problem. So you have to already be ready to defend yourself as an attractive person, because people will immediately make you the villain. Beauty is spiritual. I tell people all the time, beauty is spiritual because people won't even give you a chance. You're automatically a bad person. It's literally spiritual. I remember I went to a church and, I'm walking in there. I got my heels on. I got my cute, church dress on. I'm relaxing. And I see one of the women, she's an usher. She spots me from across the church. Now, another thing that people think that beautiful women are cowards because they spent so many years bullying and breaking that beautiful woman down and playing psychological mind games. Oh, you're a mean girl, so you have to accept everything we do, or we're going to call you mean or whatever. It's a lot of mind games. So every time people see a beautiful woman, they assume that you're going to let them do whatever they want to do to you because you want to be accepted by them. I've already accepted myself. I don't need anybody to accept me. So I don't do things to win people over. I don't do that. I don't enroll myself in trying to win people over. This is who I am. This is what I am. You like it, great. You don't, stay out of my way. Right? That's just how I am. I'm not going to change. I'm not going to audition for you. I'm not doing any of that. It's not required. You're requiring somebody to go the extra mile just because they look different than you. It's not going to happen. That's crazy. Right? So I walk into the room. I sit down, I cast this usher lady. She's like staring at me from across the room, whatever. So I get up, right? Because I got my cycle and I literally felt, myself dripping. And I had on a nude long dress that time that I wore to church. So I got up and I'm walking towards the door. This was during worship. I move and I'm walking towards the door because I don't want the blood to seep in through my dress. I'm walking towards the door. And I see she's like, "Oh, this is my chance. Like, this is my chance to start problems." Like I said, when you're an attractive person, a lot of times people automatically go on defense for you and they're looking for ways to punish you, right? So I'm walking towards the door. She comes in front of the door. She's like, "Excuse me." And I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Where do you think you're going?" I said, "First of all, who are you speaking to? Because it cannot be me. And there's no way you were just in a Holy Ghost service talking like that. There's no way." And she's like, "Oh, well, I'm sorry. And then she slowly started to see, okay, this lady's very reactive. I didn't know that she was going to immediately stop me on the spot like that. I thought that she was going to allow me to speak to her that way. So I checked it. You got to be fast with it. I said, "Well, you're definitely not speaking to me with that tonality. You don't know me." Right. And then I said, "Well, I'm going to the restroom." And she's like, "Oh, well, we don't really like people going." I'm like, "Well, do you want to open up the palms of your hands and catch my cycle blood with your bare hands? Would you like to give that demonstration?" And she's like, "Oh, no." I said, "You don't tell an adult woman that she is not allowed to use the bathroom, ma'am. You are out of line." And I'm sure that if I write an email to the pastor and I let him know that you're cornering me and you're standing in front of this door and you're not allowing me to use the bathroom, I know he would let you have it. You better move out of my way. You got 2 seconds to get from in front of me. I'm so serious with you. And she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it." Oh, no. I said, "You meant it. You meant it. You were getting ready to establish dominance over me. And you didn't think I was going to react to you in this manner. I'm not going to let you abuse me for whatever insecurities that you have. Move." That was the last time we had that conversation. She never spoke to me again. Because again, it's Leo. Again, it's that, "Oh, I'm gonna, no, I'm not going to let it start." That's the thing. You're like, "Why are you giving me a hard time? You've been staring at me from the parking lot." It's because they feel like you're going to allow them to abuse you. Imagine telling an adult woman she's not allowed to use the bathroom. Do you think she would tell any other woman in that congregation they're not allowed to use the bathroom? She wanted to establish dominance over me because, as an attractive woman, people want to establish dominance over you. They want to bully you because, in their mind, you're not going to respond. I said, "Ma'am, you got 2 seconds to move out of my way." Two, two. Because I need to go to the bathroom and I need to change and I need to put this pad on. You got 2 seconds, ma'am. to remove yourself from my presence. And she moved all right. She moved. So the me before my rebirth, I would have allowed that. I don't have to be abused by you because of how I trigger you. You have to learn to be triggered by someone and deal with it and not punish the other person. Right? So why do I have to get abused? Why do I have to not be able to go to the bathroom because you're unhappy at the way I look? That's not reality. Wow, we have so much in common. Sagittarius over here. We have that fire inside. The fire is very crazy. Like, we just don't do well with anyone who is bothering us. Like, it's just like, ma'am, let me go to the bathroom. What is the problem? Right? But that is what you're going to deal with as an attractive woman a lot. People want to bully you just because of that. And again, you don't have to accept it. So she wanted me to accept that treatment, and I didn't accept it. And she never gave me a hard time after that because I don't have to accept it. I'm going to set the tone in my life. I'm going to set the tone in my own life. That's the thing. I have the right to be happy. I have the right. I have rights, right? Because when you're beautiful, people want you to feel like you don't have no rights, you don't have no opinion, you can't have any boundaries, or we're going to call you mean. Well, go ahead and call me mean then. I promise I will survive after the mean girl allegations. I promise you I will be A-okay, right? You know, though, it's just, there was a time another woman did this to me at a church. We were in the church courtyard before service, and I was chewing gum, right? In the church courtyard before service, right? We're all hanging out. And she's, again, the minute I got out my car, she spotted me, and you saw that the defense body language coming. Because that's beauty beauty is so spiritual. It will attract so many attacks. So I'm sitting there and I'm talking to somebody and I'm like chewing my gum, and she comes to me and she does this under my chin. And me and the person mid conversation, we stop and we look at her, and I'm like we're all looking at her like, what are you doing? She's like, the gum, the gum. I said, I'm chewing gum. Yes, that's correct. And she's like, oh, well, we're in church. I'm like, we're not in church. We're in the courtyard. And I want you to get away from me. Did you pay for this gum? No. So then you don't have the right to tell me to remove it. Please walk away. Just walk away. So, oh, I wasn't trying to offend you. I said, just walk away. You don't know me. Stay away from me. You don't know me. You do not know me. Well, you know me now. You don't know me. Please go away. Stay away. Walk away. Don't speak to me. And that was it. Again, they think that because you're in those type of environments that they're going to get some type of pass. No, 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 honey. No, 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 no. Let me have my gum. But you're going to deal without it. Like, that's what beauty does, y'all. That's what it does. It causes people to start acting crazy. It causes people to think that they're going to give you some type of hard time, or and they're expecting you to tone it down. No, 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 no. I told her, please, like, I like, just walk away from me. Let's just leave it there. And that was just it. Right? It's just trying to establish dominance. It's this domination, this submission that they want from you. It's like, it's really crazy. And if you show them that you're like passive, it's only going to get worse. Do I have any other experiences? But I've dealt with that so many times. Like, that's why, It's a lot of the people, I hate to go there, a lot of the people that have a problem with me is because they tried to do that and I didn't let them. So they ran with that and took it as, oh, she's mean, or some people say, oh, she's a firecracker. I've gotten that before. She's a firecracker, all that stuff, because they wanted to establish dominance over me because they felt insecure about me. So I didn't let them establish dominance because I'm the dominant one, not you. Because this is my life. That's the thing. This is my life. This is my movie, right? I don't make myself a side character. People want you to live your life in third person while they're the first no, no, I don't live my life in third person. So they will like do all these crazy things, and it's all because they want to. And then the thing is, I would go to these things, and like even like my brother would see these type of reactions I would get from people. He'll be like, yo, people are like wild. Like the guys would see it too, because he's like, yo, people are like really, like, how do you deal with this often? I'm like, it's always somebody trying you. It's always somebody trying you when you're attractive. It's always somebody trying something. It's so weird. When we speak up, we are the problem. Yeah, it's so crazy. Yes, I'm creating an Amazon storefront. Like, it's so much spiritual warfare. And I used to talk to God about that. And I used to tell God, well, I know you don't want me to react, right? Because God doesn't like it when I get like that. He really doesn't. And I sometimes I have to tell God, I'm like, God, they keep trying they keep trying me, God. I'm telling you. I tell God, I'm like, God, they're messing with you. I mean, they're messing with me, and then and it's like it's really hard to keep the composure, but you have to. You have to. But it does get difficult sometimes because people just do the craziest things, like throw out your stuff in the trash. I work with this lady that would always throw out my stuff. It was just crazy. Of course, God talks back to me sometimes. Yeah. Yeah. Of course. And I tell him all the time, it's like, it's like it's mainly in controlled environments because people want you to care more about the people around than what's being done with you. Like, oh, this is church, so let her do that to me, right? It's crazy. Okay, let me get this person out of here. Okay. All right. Mel, it's funny you say God doesn't like when you react that way, but I feel like God to your channel so I can get more boldness. Yeah, he doesn't always like it because sometimes I like can get really upset. Those controlled environments is when people usually pull those stunts, like work. They do crazy things to beautiful women at work. Oh my God, beautiful women get literally terrorized in the work, like terrorized, terrorized. Terror, straight terror. Because beauty is a gift. It is. And men have it too. Beautiful men have the same problem. It's a gift, and gifts come with a tax. Yeah. So I had to change a lot of things about my disposition because it's like you don't have to be attacked just because of the way you look. That's crazy. You don't deserve that. Like, imagine telling a woman she can't go to the bathroom to change her pad because she just got her cycle. Like, who does that? I would never stop a woman from going to the bathroom to change her pad or going to the bathroom at all. That wasn't at a job, Rosa. That was at a church. It was at a church. Wild. Wild. It's so annoying and unnecessary. It's really hard sometimes. So you can't, again, the rebirth. Dwelling said, my Leo wife is a firecracker and I'm proud of her. I love watching her put rude people in her place. You have to, though. You have to. You have to, because it's not fair to be bullied just because, or for people to give you a hard time just because, or like, it's just like, at my last workplace, I had a woman who was old enough to be my mother mock me in front of the man. Oh my God. And no one said a word. Of course they're not, because that should happen to you to make them feel better. It's crazy. But I'm very happy. Like, I don't let those experiences dictate my life. I'm very happy. I'm very blessed. And I thank God for everything that he's done. But people sometimes, it's like they want to bring that dark side out of you, for whatever reason. And it's like, you have to take your power back and remember that you do not have to get treated poorly just because of your currency. That's not required. You don't have, and I had to tell myself that I don't have to be treated badly because of how another person feels about me. It's not required. I'm allowed to protect my heart from being bruised. Okay? I don't have to. Your parents you don't have to deal with abuse from your parents because of what they've been through. They got to go fix that. Therapy, you can't destroy your child's childhood because of what you went through in your childhood. Like, a lot of this is emotional intelligence. Yeah. And people would literally think I was lying about what would happen to me until people would go out with me and they would see the treatment I would get. They would be like, "Whoa, you got it bad." And I'm like, "You see? You see? You see? You thought I was the mean girl, right? You see? You see? You see? Spend one day with me and you'll see. You'll see. The hard times at the front desk, the hard times. Yeah. You'll see. Going in the gas station to pay for gas, you pay for the gas, you go to your pump, no gas is coming out because the lady at the cashier purposefully didn't click the button. And now you got to go back inside. Like, it never stops. It never stops. It never stops. Or a package gets delivered for you and people keep saying, "Oh, we didn't get it. We didn't get it." And it's literally hidden somewhere in the office. You know, I'm telling you, it's insanity. It's insanity. And people never believe us. They never, like, people hate when we talk about this stuff online because they don't believe it's possible. It is. Spend a day with me. Y'all want to spend a day with me? You'll see it. But I still smile because God is still good. Cashiers give you an attitude for no reason. It's spiritual warfare. When you're a beautiful woman, they're going to attack your mind, your relationship, your marriage, everything, your beauty, everything will be attacked, both spiritually and physically. But you got to have a strong prayer life. Anyways, I love you guys. I'm getting off. I'll be back on tomorrow. Announcements. You will catch the full live on my YouTube. Start it from the beginning. Number 2, yourlevelupguru.net. The bundle classes for this month is Archetypes. This Sunday it's going to be powerful. Bring your notes. Be ready to learn. Recording will be available. Next week is Spiritual Warfare Part 3. Powerful class, Spoken Word Edition. We will be talking about this a lot in that class and how to use it to build up and tear down and rearrange the reality of your life. You don't want to miss it. Yourlevelupguru.net. What else? Announcements. TikTok, you guys know. YouTube, please follow me on TikTok. I have a YouTube channel if you don't know that. And I have an Instagram that I have to get up more on top of. My Amazon storefront, y'all, I'm sorry. I have been talking about my Amazon storefront since 2024 and I did it, but I had to redo it. I'm going to try to do it today. Be on the lookout for that link. Always visit my community page to see what's going on. Because once I do the Amazon storefront. It's going to go on the community page. So try to check my community page often to see what's new. I post the divine messages on there. So go to the community page on my YouTube to see what's going on. Okay. Prayer points, you want it, send me an email. I'll send them to you. And that's it. And if you ordered a class in the last 10-15 minutes, you will get it, the link and everything by the end of the day. Last time to sign up is, of course, Sunday before 7. If you sign up for the class Sunday after 7 for Archetype, you'll probably get on still, but you'll probably get the recording because we like to be very focused during our courses. I literally pray for an hour before I even get on a class because I want to make sure that the essence is right, the energy is right, and the students' minds are right, and it's a safe space, and just to build that soft, peaceful environment on the course. Because literally, all of my classes, it feels like a virtual sleepover. It feels like a virtual sleepover. It's so comforting, the energy, the essence on my classes. It's a safe space for everybody. All right. I got to get off. I love y'all. Be safe. Enjoy your